Hello and welcome back to the debugging module. In this demo, we'll learn how to use the RunTo and RunFrom this activity actions. We'll use two workflows to showcase each feature. Let's begin. To access the Run to this activity and Run from this activity actions, we need to right-click an activity in the Designer panel and open the context menu. Let's do this now. Run to this activity will debug the project and stop before the selected activity is executed. We can use this action to check the first part of our workflow. Run from this activity will start debugging from the selected activity. By using this action, we can skip the first part of our workflow and set variables for debugging the second part. In this example, we'll demonstrate running to the type into last name activity. This means that all previous activities, starting with reading the Excel file and ending with the type into first name activity, will be executed. And the robot will pause before entering the type into last name activity. Let's select Run to this activity for this type into. The workflow is running. It's entering the first name. And it pauses before entering the last name. We can see this in the form as well. The activity is highlighted in the Designer panel since the execution has been paused at this activity. We have several options here. We can set breakpoints, use step into, step over, or step out, or edit values in the locals, immediate, or watch panels to check how that'll change the workflow's behavior. This sums up how Run to this activity works. Let's stop the execution and open another project to demonstrate the Run from this activity action. The workflow asks the user to enter a value, adds 3 different amounts to that value, and types each one of the 3 results into a field in the UI demo application. We want to debug the workflow starting from the first type into activity. To do this, let's select the Type into Cache in activity. Right-click to open the context menu and select Run from this activity. Please note that we're in debug mode and the execution is paused. We'll use the Locals panel to change the value of our input number variable before starting to debug. Let's click the pencil icon. In the Local Value window, let's change the value from 500 to 200. And click OK. Great, let's click Continue. The execution skipped the input dialog activity, and it jumped straight to the first type into activity. Remember that we've started with a value of 200. As we can see, the first type into activity added 50 to the cache in field. The second activity added 100 to the on us check field. And the third activity added 150 to the not on us check field. And the execution ends successfully. For another example, let's run from the second type into activity and change the value of the input number variable back to 500. Let's click Continue. Note that the execution starts from this type into on us check activity in the workflow. In the UI demo, we still have 250 in the cache in field since we've skipped that type into activity. But now we have 600 in the on us check field and 650 in the not on us check field. This concludes our demo on using these 2 actions. Using Run to this activity, we'll debug the project and pause the execution just before the selected activity is performed. On the other hand, Run from this activity will begin debugging from the selected activity onwards. You can experiment with these 2 activities by adding them to one of your existing workflows. Try different scenarios and see how they can help you debug and optimize your automation processes. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.